In today's video, I'm going to pick up something that I'm going to discuss from my book. This book, which I had just recently published, Awaken to Wellness. This book is available on Amazon, both in Kindle format and print format. And I think so it's a very relevant book, not just for the story about wellness, because here I share about the journey of my journey from type 2 diabetes to discovering or finding out about a conscious way of living. So I started with a disease, tried to look at how do I put it in remission. But actually this journey took me to something which I call as conscious living. So I share all about my journey. It's not a medical book, but I think it's very essential what I pick up here. These are some very practical things that will help you if you are on a journey. But here today, the topic that I'm going to pick up is relevant not just for the fitness, wellness. It is also relevant for business. It's relevant for career, almost anything that you pick up in life. And I'm going to pick up the chapter 6 from this book, and it's about habits win over willpower every time. We kind of, overvalue or think about willpower is the thing that gets people to do things. But actually what I have found in my journey that it is all about habits. Right now, we are, as I'm recording this video, we are in a festive season in India. And this next 3 months is going to be, people are just going to binge, they're going to eat, because all festivals are about food. Almost everything in our life revolves around food. Our family gatherings are about food, our friends are all about food, and those kind of things. And now, our festivals are all about foods. Unfortunately, the kind of foods that we have during these occasions, or even if you go out for a dine out today, very few healthy options is what you will find. And then what happens is, come Jan, and most people will pick up some kind of a New Year resolution. Gyms have a business model. They will give you a 50% discount in the first week of June, because they know most people are going to join the gym in the first week of Jan. And by the time the first week of Feb comes, more than 90% of the people just drop out. So this is a fact. The business model is based on this, that they know the fact that most people will join the gym in the first week of Jan, and by Feb, most of them will be out. They would have stopped. So it's not got anything to do with willpower. It's about habits, is what my discovery was. And here I'm going to share, in this book I have shared some thoughts, a few pointers which are very critical, and just examine these pointers if they apply to you, if they can help you in your journey, whether it's a wellness journey, whether it's a business journey, whether it's a career journey, whatever it is. Whatever you pick up small and simple goals. So start small. So first point that I say is simple goals, start small and win big. When I picked up cycling more than 9 years back now, I remember I started with cycling just 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. I just would go around the block and come back. And then I started going to 5 kilometers. Then I picked up to 10 kilometers. Then I changed my cycle. I got in a more professional cycle for myself. And then I started going 25 kilometers on weekends. And sometimes I even went 50 kilometers. So I kept on, but I started small, because that's the way it is. You don't pick up something absolutely very big. And I've seen this, that when you pick up some impossible goal to start with, it looks so daunting that in the first few days, as you just are not able to get there, you give up. So start small. It's the right way to do it, and make it fun. The second point is make it fun. Enjoy the process. Very clear for me, if you're not going to enjoy the process, you're not really going to sustain it. If it doesn't bring you joy, you are not going to sustain it. If it is not simple, the first point, if it's not simple. Secondly, if it doesn't bring you joy, you are not going to sustain it. So you have these fad diets, and there are many programs out there. They will actually make you lose weight. They'll help you to get rid of, put your diabetes and type 2 diabetes in remission. All those things are achieved, but can you sustain it? Because I can restrict you in terms of what you are inputting, and but you are not going to sustain something like that if you're not joyful about it. You're not going to sustain it. I have to find joy. I did not give up my coffee. I love coffee. So instead of having dairy, I switched over to almond milk. And there are reasons why that's there in the book, what I did. But I really found joy. If I picked up cycling, it is a sport that I love. I'm not an indoor person. I'm not a gym person. I love to go out and, I love the cycle. I love the wind on my face. So it has to bring me joy. Nobody has to tell me on a Sunday morning that please get up and go for cycling. I don't need a coach to do that for me. I mean, it's something which comes from inside. I love to do it. So that's another thing. Third is repeatable habits. Consistency is the king. Day one, nothing will change. Week one, nothing will change. Month one, some changes is what is you will start noticing. 2 months, your blood work will start showing you the results. And within 6 months, others will tell you, boss, what have you done? So, but for that to happen, you need to be day in and day out doing that stuff religiously, very simple things, joyful things, what brings you joy, day after day after day. It is for life. It is not a sprint, it is a marathon, is what I say. The fourth point that I think which is very critical in my journey, which I figured out, was take out decision making from the whole thing, because decision making is what stops you. What happens is you get off the track. The moment you have to take a decision, you will get off the track. So I made it absolutely like, I love to wear these kind of black tees. I don't have to think too much. I just pick it up, wear it out. Yeah. So it's something that, you just decide if every day I'm going to have salads with my meals, I'm going to have salads with my meals. It's a part of the way I do it. If I get up in the morning and I'm going to have this particular smoothie, I'm going to do that day after day after day. If I'm going to have my millet dosa, I'm going to have my millet dosa day after day after day. So that's the way it is. Find replacements to avoid the void, because there will be a void. Because when you give up something, you're giving up. And the tendency is something, if you're giving up, you will want to run towards it. You want to rush towards it. So you don't give up, fill up the void, fill up. So instead of dairy, I have this almond milk, right? So you pick up something that will fill up that void that comes in. Celebrate the small wins. That's how I have sustained cycling for over now. How many years? Yeah, it's more than 9 years. I go to Starbucks after every weekend when I do cycling. After that, I land up at Starbucks. And that's not just for the cup of coffee, it is me time. And I enjoy it. And that's one of the ways of celebrating. I celebrate the small wins. Are you celebrating the small wins in your life? Whatever you pick up in your life, whether it's career or whatever business goals that you have picked up, are you celebrating those things, small things that happen? You don't look at, okay, after I reach if I have pulled down on 20 kgs, I've reached my goal, I'm going to celebrate. If I'm going to climb that mountain, I'll reach there from the top. And then, you'll find that when you climb one mountain, there will be another mountain. So there's nothing that you're never going to, the mountains never stop, right? You keep on having one mountain after the other. And the point is the whole fun is in the journey. Journey is what counts. It's not the destination. The next point, the seventh point, is it's okay to slip, but don't give up. This is the important one. This is again a critical one. A lot of people, something goes wrong and they'll just give up. One thing goes, they're either all in or they're all out. There is no midway. There is no something like, if you don't see this as this is something you're doing for life, and if you see this as a punishment, and if you're going to, think of it like, if I just get off it for a bit, and then it's going to put a lot of stress, and you run into guilt trips and you just give up. You just, say, okay, there is festive season. There is going to be times where I'm going to eat. When I'm going out with the family, sometimes I'm going to eat outside. I'll try to pick up good food choices, but sometimes I'm going to eat. I'm going to, have a glass of wine or whatever when I'm out with my friends once in a while. But I do that. But it's not a habit. It's not something I do every week, every day. It's not something that I keep on doing on a daily basis. I know that I have to get back to my the way of the plan that I have. So it's okay to, don't put that stress, don't get into guilt trips. That's the first thing. Don't get into guilt trips. And I tell people, please don't watch on a daily basis. Do it on a weekly basis, it is fine, but don't do that. Don't put a pressure on yourself. Sharing my journey, the next one, 8 points, very interesting find. When I started sharing my journey on social media, I became accountable. I had to first declare to the world that I am a cyclist to become a cyclist. And this is interesting, right? You put it on. It's not like, it's not that I'm faking. Really, to think about it, it's kind of creating a kind of a mind thing that, you visualize something and then that starts happening, right? You put it out. So I put out this thing about cycling out there, and I started sharing pictures of cycling, but I started becoming a cyclist. I had to declare that identity to become that person. So it also becomes an accountability, because once I'm doing that, that's a kind of a feedback loop or whatever you call it. There is an accountability that comes in by sharing on social media. Ninth point is leverage health tech. I leverage health tech a lot. This was a game changer for me. My CGM was a big game changer for me. Because since I started using my CGM, I could actually see the impact of the food that I had on my blood glucose, and then I could tweak my diet so that I could keep my blood glucose in range. And that understanding the science behind what I'm inputting inside my body, if I don't sleep, what is the impact on the next day? So I also wear this smart ring. If you see out here, I have a smart ring, right? So this smart ring is there. When I go for cycling, I have my fitness tracker also on, so that I can see what I'm doing. But the point is, all this data, this is not just giving me to understand the science behind what's happening. It's also a motivator. It's a coach. It's somebody who's always there with me 24/7, because as I know this is a lifetime journey, I do use health tech in my journey. The 10th point is building a community is very important. Otherwise, it's a very lonely journey. It's a very lonely journey. You go to a food mall, what do you see? You see all kind of junk foods. If you go to a dine out, you see all kind of junk food. You go to gathering with a family, you find junk foods. Almost everywhere that you're going to find junk food, right? So you need this community of like-minded people. If you can find that like-minded people, if in your own family, if your own spouse can become your partner in this journey, it becomes great. For me, example, my wife also is on a very similar journey, so we all follow a similar diet. We are not making something different. So we are on the journey together, and this really helps. The next thing, the point number 11 is spirituality is very essential. I found that acceptance, embracing acceptance and surrender is very important on this journey. There will always be things which are not in your control. You'll try to control 10 things, but there'll be the one thing that will not be in your control. I was cycling, and every week I was cycling, and then suddenly the next week I was on the bed with cervical spondylitis and so much of pain that I couldn't move my neck. It's literally my neck was stuck. I couldn't get into the MRI machine. They had to give me 2 painkillers to put me just to take my MRI. And I was crying. I had to be rushed to the emergency because I was in so much pain. And for almost 2 months, I was bedridden. And here, 1 week back, I'm cycling. And the next week, I'm here, on the bed for 2 months. So in such times, you have to realize there will be things which are not going to be in your control. And this cervical spondylitis is an aging process, right? Things are going to go wrong. You're going to age. There are going to things which in some reports will come up and down. There, what I found is at some point the spirituality helps. That process of surrender in some way helps you. So you need to figure out what is that for you, and you need to pick it out. 11th point is take out stress, focus on what matters, because obsessively, for example, this monitoring your weight, for example, is one big one. And if you're on a daily basis, you're so much focused on that kind of a thing, you're going to put tremendous pressure. What matters is just focus on habits, right? If you don't look at these 5 things which are going wrong, just focus on your habits. If you're going to have a simple strategy of healthy habits, that's it. That's all that you need. Focus on that. And these small things of healthy habits that you do will take you through on your journey. Chart your own journey and avoid comparisons. I cannot compare myself with anybody. If somebody is running and I cannot run, I don't need to, compete with that person. I am me. I love cycling. That's something I do. I love to walk. I love to, slow jog. Maybe that's something which this works with me. I don't have to compete with anybody else out there, because if I start competing with somebody else, I might injure myself. I have to do stuff which is age appropriate for me and for my body and my fitness level. I should be doing that. Don't watch YouTube videos which are guys very extreme, and then you get, oh my God, let me also go and do all that. I don't think so that's going to work for you, because you're going to land up in more trouble. The principle is behavior change, the foundation of lasting habits. This is the whole thing. This is the whole thing that I've figured out on this journey. It's in the diet and all that, this is very easy to get, right? Diet information is very easy to get. Today, how much time will you take if you use a chat GPT and, you just type, give me a diet? And it will give you all that. You check out so many hundreds and thousands of YouTube videos, which will tell you. Most important thing is that the foundation of the wellness journey, foundation of almost anything that you're going to focus in life is going to be on your behaviors. What are your behaviors that you are building to become that? If I have to become a writer, what are the behaviors? What is the thing that I'm doing on a daily basis? If I'm in a creative field, if I'm to become a storyteller, what is it that I am doing on a daily basis to build my skill as a storyteller? What do I do? So whatever you're picking up, it's all about behaviors that I do. Behaviors become the habits, and that's what creates the shift. And it is just 1% shift that you create on a daily basis, that is what is going to create the results for you. This is what I have figured out in my wellness journey. What are your thoughts? What do you feel about what I have shared just now? Do share in the comments, and do read this book. And this is a book that you can give to your friends during this festive season. It's one of the best gifts that you can give them. It's not that I'm trying to sell this book. Yes, it might look like I'm trying to sell this book, but the idea is I want to spread this message that wellness is a choice. All of us deserve this, and this comes through my book. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I've just shared my journey to inspire as many as I can to live a more conscious life. And how did you find this video? How do you find the thoughts in the video? I would love to hear from you. Share them in the comments. Thank you.